Coming to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas, this is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Good morning. Welcome to Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. Thank you guys for joining us today. We are so excited to be here. We have a great show planned out for you. Notice I didn't say phenomenal or huge today.
Thank you so much.
He still said it.
And I still somehow threw it out there, right?
God damn it.
All right, so guys, thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget that you can put all of your comments, questions, concerns, anything you want to talk about that has to do with real estate. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help your businesses grow. Make sure to drop your comments, questions, and concerns down below, right there in the comments bar if you're on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Thanks again for joining us. And let's talk about what's happening today. I mean, today...
What is going on today?
Is like the United States Doomsday, right?
It's the season finale of America.
The season finale of America.
Tonight, cast your vote to find out who will be the number one American.
I feel like we have been on a reality show for like the last year, and it has been horrible. It's been like the worst experience. I mean, every day, I call it the clown show in my house. But here's when like it got real serious this morning when my kid, we wake up like at 6:30, 7 o'clock. We get ready and, we have the whole, we do the whole thing. We have the breakfast and blah, 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 that whole thing. Do you do that yet in the morning? No.
Not yet.
Because your kid's too small, right?
Yeah.
You don't take your kid to school yet. But so with my kids, we have this whole routine, right? And then as we're driving to school, we talk about, how things are going to work out for the day, all right? And so we do like a whole routine on making sure that their mindset is right. Anyway, as we're going to school, my wife tells me that my kid is like, "Hey, Mom, what's going to happen today when we vote a new president in?" And it dawned on me that I'm not the only one that's nervous about this election.
No,
like,
man.
and I don't mean like me myself. I mean like us as adults. We're not the only ones that are nervous.
You don't remember being a kid and being like, oh my God, who's going to be the next president?
No, I really don't. I never cared about that when I was a kid. I mean, we're talking about a 6-year-old. You know what I mean?
I know, but we talked about that in school, and it's like, because you got to remember, like a 6-year-old, this is the first presidential election that they'll actually remember. And so for them, it's a really big deal. I remember being in school and talking about like, how Clinton was about to be elected.
Really?
And yeah, I can't believe you guys don't remember those times, man.
About that
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember growing up and being like 15 and being like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like that just didn't matter to me.
Oh, at 15,
it was like a huge deal. Like that
really?
For me, that was Gore Bush era, and that was a really big deal.
BB just dated himself. Now everybody knows how old you are, BB.
Old.
Very old. So it kind of dawned on me that if a 6-year-old can be nervous about what's happening with the election today, then obviously everyone else is terrified. And we have felt it even like in the real estate market. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like with the listings that we have and the buyers that we have, everyone's kind of like in this limbo, like this little gray area where they don't really know if they're going to end up moving to Canada or not.
Well, what I mean? You want to know something crazy is whenever they release that second set of investigation, the second investigation on the emails that they did, Hillary, because it brought her down, Wall Street was down for about 5 days. During that whole investigation, Wall Street went through a massive slump. I mean, it was hurting really bad. And then as soon as they announced that the investigation was off and that there was no wrongdoing, all of a sudden yesterday, Wall Street, frenzy. I mean, it was just on the up and up all day.
Back up again.
So that tells you who Wall Street wants to be the next president.
It tells you that everyone in every industry and even the little people that are 6 years old are worried about what's going to happen.
Oh, absolutely.
Today. So today is a historical day, and we are excited to be hosting today's show and talking about it. So here's what we want to do. We want to have a vote off
A viewer
vote off.
And don't be ashamed.
All right. So here's how this is going to work. We're going to ask, and we're going to drop the instructions down below here shortly. If you think that Trump is going to win, then I want you to give us a thumbs up. All right. So Trump equals like.
Yeah, remember, Trump hands, likes, thumbs
Trump
up.
Equals like.
All right.
All right. We'll drop that down below. And if you think or want Hillary to win, then give me one of those little heart things that you can do. All right. Do you guys know how to put those little heart things?
Yeah.
You just gotta hold the like button, and then all the other options come up.
Well, see, we already had 2 likes, but I think those came in the morning as soon as we started.
So those don't count. Those don't count. Anyway, we got to take a quick commercial break. We have a great show planned out today. Stay tuned. We're going to come back with a quick market update. What's happening out there? Who's making money? Who's not? We're going to talk about that when we come back. Stay tuned.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket. And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can tweet us at Realty Ruckus. Again, that's at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you comment, we can answer your questions live on the air. Also, you can call into the show at 832-790-2578 or text us live at 832-790-2578. And David, how's the weather out there this week?
Well, guys, it's pretty cloudy for today and the rest of the week. We have a high of 78 today and a low of 64 with a 20% chance of showers in the area, and expected for the rest of the week to stay about the same, mid-70s and low 60s throughout the week. So it's looking like it's going to be finally good weather for the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah,
nice.
I'm excited. I jogged a couple miles this morning because, we are on that weight loss challenge, and I do plan on winning.
Which Alan refused to weigh in yesterday because he was like, these are not my terms. I refuse to weigh in unless it's under my terms.
I will only weigh in under my terms. That is true. The thing is, when you weigh in, you have to do it at the same time, under the same amount of stress and everything else that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Yeah, you got to make sure that
I want to make sure everything is the same.
Yeah, the fat's the same. Everything's the
same. Not the fat. I'm trying to lose the fat. No, I was gonna say that this morning was the first time that I ran with like a jacket on, like one of those little windbreaker jackets on, and it was like, oh man.
Was it neon colored?
No, it was not neon colored.
It was good.
It was blue. All right, but it was cool because
did it have little reflectors on it, and did it say crosswalk on it?
No. It did not. But look, let's move off of me for a second. Let's talk about the market.
Yeah, let's talk about
I can't talk about myself around you guys. I can't say anything about myself. Hey guys, don't forget that we're doing a live
Vote off.
We're doing a vote off. We want to know who our viewers think is going to win
Vote
today.
off.
You know, it doesn't actually mean that you voted for that person or not. Just tell us who you think is going to win today.
Yeah.
A like equals Trump, and a
Thumbs up.
heart.
Thumbs
and
up equals Trump.
A thumbs up equals Trump, and a heart equals Hillary. And can we pick another one for Johnson? I mean Johnson.
Oh yeah, there is. You can do the ha face for Johnson.
Ha face for Johnson.
Ha face. There you go.
And we'll do the wow face for Stein. Wow.
Let's see how many wows and ha faces we can get throughout the show. All right, so we want to talk about what's happening with hybrid brokerages. And I was reading this article recently, and it talked about this $1 million agent, right? And how many agents out there don't want to call themselves $1 million agents?
What does that even mean, $1 million agent?
$1 million agents, right off the top, it means that you have the ability to list and sell $1 million properties.
Yeah.
What that means to me is that you are more than just the agent that throws something on MLS.
So $1 million agent doesn't mean an agent that's making $1 million. It's an agent who's listing $1 million houses.
Well, it's assumed that if you're listing $1 million houses, you're making $30,000 minimum per deal.
Per deal.
So you should be clearing at least $1 million, right? If you're clearing your minimum amount of listings per year.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's move on from that. The fact is, most $1 million agents are just agents that are out there marketing to the luxury market.
Yeah.
Right? They're agents who are trying to list $1 million properties. And so I was reading this article, and it talks about how in California, now you got to understand, California, almost anyone is $1 million agent. That's right. Because
that's so different.
The price point in certain cities starts at $1 million.
That's one thing that really it's always surprised me is that the commission structures across the country don't vary, despite the fact that the real estate varies tremendously.
Right.
I mean, you go to New York, and there's not anything under $1 million that you can buy. But then you go to Texas, where your average real estate is $225,000-$240,000.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense, the commission structure and the payment model for real estate agents.
It doesn't, and I think maybe what's happening right now and what's going to happen in the next few years, and I make these crazy predictions every once in a while, and sometimes I'm right, but what's happening right now is that the market has so much access to online resources, tools, and someone who is technologically savvy has the ability to do some stuff. They can try to sell their own house now, and actually I've seen some people be successful where years before it was not possible.
Yeah.
And I just had a FSBO that I was chasing down. I usually chase these down for 6 months to a year. And I love doing it because I'm always, I don't want to say always now, but usually I'm right when I tell them, hey, you're going to really have a hard time selling because of this, this, and this, and this. When you get to these stumbling blocks, here I am, I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
And so usually these FSBOs will end up coming back to me at some point and saying, hey, you were right? And then I look like a big giant hero and blah, blah, blah. You know the story. In this case, I just had one over in Memorial that actually sold through a FSBO sign.
Wow.
Yeah. It stunned me. Now, here's where it was interesting. I quoted 630. They got 550.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They took a hit.
Yeah, so
It's a
might as
small
well pay
hit.
that commission anyways.
It's a small hit. It would have been the same almost, after commissions had they hired me, but at least they wouldn't have done any of the work.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, there's this broker in California. He's doing a multi-million-dollar listing presentation, and the seller's like, all right, fine, we let's move forward, but before we do so, let's talk about your commission. You're simply not worth what you're charging. And it was like, you could hear a pin drop, and he goes on to say that he thought to himself, he's right, I'm not, which is probably nothing, it's probably totally opposite of what I would have thought. But in this case, maybe he felt like that was true. I mean, he was listing multi-million-dollar house. The commission on it was like $350,000, and he was like, "Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not worth $350,000 to list your house." And I think that is the beginning of the demise of the current commission structure. You see what I'm saying? There are very few agents out there right now who are still able to charge the full 6% and sometimes go above that. I know a couple, and we have had some limited success on going out there and saying, hey, we're not going to do a 6% job. We're going to do a 7% job because we're doing $1 million marketing on your $300,000 house. So we're going to have to charge a little more. So that's possible. But then it goes into talking about how hybrid brokerages are changing the game. And if you start thinking about that, if you really start putting a little bit of thought behind this, it's totally true. Hybrid brokerages, first of all, they're everywhere now where they used to not be, and we could consider ourselves one. We're obviously not part of the mainstream group, but imagine that everyone out there right now is seeing how hybrid brokerages bring in all of these different aspects to real estate, including different commission structures, kickbacks to buyers, all of these other things that are making changes within the system, and therefore creating competition, right? So it talks a whole lot about that. When we get back, I want to take a look into this a little bit further because I think we're going to see a different commission structure in the next few years, a different brokerage and a different level of service. Anyways, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll talk a little bit more when we get back about that.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket. And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where we can answer your questions and comment with you live on the show. Right now, we're talking about hybrid brokerages and how they're changing real estate. And I wanted to look more at what exactly do hybrid brokerages do. So you have to look at one example is we talked about it last week, is a brokerage that is doing where they can pay a flat fee for different services. Yeah. And then you don't actually have to pay the full 6% commission. Mm-hmm. Now, the other example of hybrid brokerages is going to be brokerages like this one that you found where
Open Door?
Open Door, where they're not even asking for a realtor to go open a house anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's actually going to be, let's look a little bit more about that. Tell us more about that one.
Okay, so there's this brokerage, and I'm not exactly sure where it's based out of. I'm sure we can research that here shortly, but it's called Open Door, and they put this sign right on the front door of every one of their listings, and it says something like, to view this house, text such and such to this number. So we have text campaigns for our listings, right? But and text campaigns are awesome, by the way, and they work really, really well in terms of marketing features of the house or marketing abilities of your brokerage to the client, and I like using that a lot. What scares me about this situation, and I don't know if you agree with me or not, is that if you have a sign on the front door that says, hey, text this number, I'll send you the code, you can go, right in and show yourself out too.
Yeah.
Is, well, how do you know that person isn't like, some kind of thief or some kid who's trying to go in and vandalize the property? You know what I mean?
Yeah, to me, it just has so regulation happens for a reason, right? And so you got to think about, why did the Texas Real Estate Commission come about? Well, obviously people were getting bamboozled in real estate. They didn't have anybody to represent them who knew what they were talking about. I mean, it's the same way that why can't anybody just go be an attorney? Like, okay, I read a law book, now let me be an attorney. They require you to at least show some level of responsibility and knowledge before you can go out there and help people. And so one of the things, like here in Texas, I'm not sure that a service like that could exist with the Texas Real Estate Commission.
Well, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because they're in Phoenix, Arizona now, and their next place to open up is Dallas.
Okay.
And,
wow.
And so
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work.
Again, that's what I'm saying is these new ideas, this new technology is going to bring about change in our industry. And imagine, I mean, I don't know if I could actually do it. I don't know if I could trust one of the houses that we have listed, one of the nice, fully renovated high-end houses with staging and all of these bells and whistles that we have inside, and just be like, hey, just text me your name and I'll let you in. Here's the code. I just feel like there's so much risk.
That would make me
that.
feel uncomfortable. And I know, BB was talking about it. Like, according to Trek, doesn't an agent have to show every home?
Yeah, your licensed assistant. I mean, your assistant has to be licensed now for them even to open a door.
Yeah,
which is boggling to me. I don't know how this brokerage is going to work. And what's going to happen is, we're going to go through a period of some deregulation where Trek there's going to be a lot of gray areas where does Trek, can they say something here or can they not? And the reality is that Trek only can regulate people that are licensed. So if you're talking about an actual homeowner who's agreeing to open their door to anybody, and a buyer who's agreeing to go into a home, and none of those people are regulated by Trek, then Trek cannot say anything about what's going on.
Yeah.
They don't have a place to say that anymore. But what's going to happen is, when you have deregulation, you set yourself up for criminal activity, right? And so that criminal activity starts to, because humans are greedy. I mean, there's no better way to put it. Humans are greedy. And so people are going to start to take advantage of this system, and you're going to get criminal activity, like you were saying, people who break in, people who vandalize, people who just go into houses to go into houses. And there are creepy people out there. I mean, that's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So this is really scary to me to think, where is this going? Because crime is going to come first, and that crime is going to hit, and then the regulation is going to have to come back. We have to think about all of the ugly things that are going to happen in between before somebody steps in and says, yeah, this is not working, we need better systems.
Here's the thing. We have a couple of high-end listings right now. Some of which are ours, some of which are clients that we represent. For the clients that we represent, I can't imagine telling them, hey, I'm just going to put a sign on the door and let anybody into your home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, anybody that knocks and wants to just text the number, they can just go in. Can you imagine that?
Well, I would say that's the pretty extreme version of what these hybrid brokerages are kind of looking at, and how the technology is pushing the industry forward. And according to this article from Inman, a lot of these hybrid brokerages, with the business model they're offering now, it's kind of it's I guess what do they call that? Those drinks that destructured or whatever.
Yeah.
Destructured. It's like a destructured way of doing business where they're putting flat fees for different types of services.
They call them alternative business models, and I'm not sure if you guys know this, but in 2008, there was a settlement, a lawsuit settlement with the National Association of Realtors and the U.S. Justice Department, which freed up the listing data to alternative business models. If you look that up, you'll find that before that, you had to have been able to prove to NAR that you had a standard business model, your 6%, 3% for showing, 3% for selling, or 3% for listing, 3% for selling, and you were allowed to access all the data, all the MLS data that people use, brokers use to create marketing campaigns and statistics and whatnot. So in 2008, someone sues, and it's agreed that now the alternative business models have access to all the data.
Yeah, and that's how you get Redfin. And
that's where the change begins, because now you have Redfin, correct.
Now they can write software that can actually pull that data from the databases which were previously restricted to them, and now allow consumers to easily access them. Another one that's doing that type of business model is this. It's kind of like more of a real estate tech company. It's called Solo Pro, and what they do is they connect home buyers with those type of agents that are fee for service. So basically, like the type of agents that are, hey, I'll $20 for showing you a house, or $100 for doing a contract, or whatever it might be. Their services are broken down into different fees, basically a la carte. That's one of those type of hybrid brokerages. They're actually pretty big.
Yeah, it's what's really strange about all this is that the hybrid brokerages that are being mentioned on here, they're finding a lot of success. They're seeing that these different structures are being well accepted by the market. There's another one here that talks about giving back half, almost a full 75% of the buyer's agent commission back to the buyer on every transaction.
I've seen that. That's a new fad, I think, as well.
But here's the deal. There's a catch to it. You can only see 3 houses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have, it's crazy because we have clients, and we talk to our agents about this all the time. Don't go out and show 50 houses, but we have clients who have literally seen 20, 30 houses.
And you know what I'm wondering? I haven't really seen these type of brokerages as much in Texas. I don't know, maybe if our listeners know of any brokerages that kind of have this type of model here in Texas. I haven't really seen it. When I read about it, it's usually in other states.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing these states have much more lax rules when it comes to their real estate.
It must be, for one. The second thing is, we're a very conservative state. Everyone here kind of likes the way things are, and we're usually the last ones on the list to make some big changes, especially in a big industry like real estate. Where it affects everyone. I think we'll see some of this stuff here shortly. In the next few years, we'll see some changes, and we've already seen some of it. If you look at other brokerages, like these flat fee models that have popped up here and there, even like for salebyowner.com, that's what it is. It's just a brokerage. It's not really just a website that lets you list a house for cheap. It's a brokerage. It's a brokerage that you pay a flat fee service, and they throw your property up on MLS for you for a fee.
Yeah.
And people are using those services, hoping to save some money, trying to save some money. I think in a good seller's market, and if you have the right property and you have the ability to actually show the property and know what you're doing, you can be successful in some of those scenarios. The only people that I end up seeing kind of really having a hard time is when they have difficult cases. So I had a difficult case recently. It was a couple who bought a house. Actually, just a couple of years ago. It was like a 3 or 4 year old house, right? So they bought this house. They found that their health, was declining. They couldn't stay there very long, and they decided that they needed to buy a new house. Well, guess what? They'd only been paying on this house 3 to 4 years, and it was a brand new home when they bought it. So they thought they had possibly accumulated some equity.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Wrong.
Yeah, it was totally the opposite.
Yeah.
So they went through like 3 agents who they quote unquote interviewed, and every agent was like, "Sorry, I can't help you. Sorry, I can't help you. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. You're upside down. The only thing we can do is do a short sale," and they were opposed to doing that. They didn't want to try to short sale. So it was interesting because in them trying to save money, they end up going with a flat fee brokerage, right?
Oh yeah.
So they're like, all right, well, we're upside down. We might as well save money. So they end up going through a flat fee brokerage. They list their property. I don't know what they paid, but it was like a couple $100. And then 3 months later, they call me. I don't know if you remember this, but I posted their text messages that they sent me, and it was like, hey, we think we made a big mistake. We really should have listened to you, and now we're ready to talk about what are some of the other exit strategies or options that are available. So I think that's what will end up happening is, all right, fine, you can try going this route. Here's an alternative to going the traditional route. It'll cost you a couple $100, and then if that doesn't work, then you end up calling.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because according to this Inman special report on these hybrid brokerages, they did interview and poll a lot of real estate agents, and many agents responded that they feel these hybrid brokerages are very similar to the discount brokerages of past, and it's kind of cyclical, and those will eventually kind of falter and go away. And then they'll eventually come back in another strong seller's market where you have what's called like commission compression, where sellers are, like you said, saying, hey, you're really not worth that much.
Yeah. I like you, but I'm not going to pay you that much.
Yeah. So I've been doing a little bit more research on this open door. And that's why I've been so quiet. But
which is strange for BB to be quiet, right?
Yeah. Well,
we didn't hear from you for like a whole minute.
Yeah, I was really intrigued by it. So basically, the way that it works is they're almost like a cash offer company, right?
Okay.
But they're going out there and they're essentially saying you're going to need to get the house up to a certain level, right? Mm-hmm. But they're buying the property. But see, what they're doing is that they're taking a 6% commission for buying the property.
Up front,
from the seller. Mm-hmm. They're taking the 6%, and then they're taking an additional 0 to 6% depending on some factor that they're calculating that's called the market risk charge, right?
Okay.
So right off the top of your listing, you're losing anywhere between 6 to 12%.
Uh-huh.
And then what they're saying is that they're saving you money because you're not paying any concessions, and you're also not having any holding costs.
And it's wham bam, thank you, ma'am. You're in and out the door. I guess.
Well, that's the idea that they're trying to give, is that like as a cash offer, you get to get your money and get going.
Okay.
But it does say that like they send in home inspectors, and then they require the home to be to a certain standard, and that the majority of people are spending about $4,500 in repairs. But they're doing it. They're doing it in credits, so that people are not having to make the repairs. They're just taking all of that off of the price of the home. So basically, it's like going out and giving someone a cash offer, starting with the number that they want, and then just ticking away off of that and saying, okay, but actually, we're going to have to replace your carpet. We're going to have to paint. So it's going to be your cash offer.
Minus all of this.
And then they relist the property after they've cleaned it up a little bit. That's why they can have the open door 24/7.
Because they are the owner.
Because they're the owner. The properties are vacant. And then they're saying, okay, well, this house comes with a 2-year guarantee and a 30-day money-back guarantee if you don't like it. It's actually pretty interesting. We'll talk more about it on the other side of the break.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepickettrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepickettrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's JOIN at teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can live tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where if you comment, we will talk live with you through the show. Also, you can text into the show at 832-790-2578, and you can call us live on the air at 832-790-2578. Now, right now, we're talking about hybrid brokerages, and while David and Al were having our discussion on hybrid brokerages and where the future's going, I was actually doing a little bit more research on this company, Open Door. And what's really interesting about this company, Open Door, is that they're doing something that is going to put not only realtors into danger, but they're going to put investment properties in danger. Because right now, when people go out and they look for an investment property, what is the typical margins that they want to see?
Well, they want to see a 30% spread.
Exactly.
They want to buy it at 70% of the after repair value minus the repairs.
Yeah, and even at a really high number, we've seen as high as like what, maybe 83%?
A high risk investor will pay 80, 82 sometimes. It depends, and it's got to be a really good area, a really low down market area.
Yeah, so basically what this company's doing is they're just guaranteeing themselves a bunch of these 80%, 85% things, because what they're starting off with is 6% right off the bat.
Okay,
right?
so they're taking
their
going
commission
up there and they're saying, hey, what do you want for your property? Well, I want this. All right, great. It's going to be 6% off the top.
Yeah, well,
that's our fee.
They're putting together basically a comp of other houses, but they're not going for the most upgraded house. Now, this is what I find really interesting, because earlier on the show, we did a special episode where we talked a lot about millennials and how millennials are the buyers that are changing America, right? Yeah. And one thing that we saw about millennials is that they care less about a fully make-ready home, and they care more about getting more.
We just want a home.
Yeah, they just want.
Just give me a
home. Something we can live in.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, they want something that they can move their families into.
Yeah.
That's livable, and they'll make changes and repairs and upgrades as they live there and as they go along.
Yeah.
But they want something that's affordable, because right now everything seems to be skyrocketing.
Right.
So what this company is doing is they're saying, yeah, we don't care about doing a full rehab. We're going in, we're making the property livable, we're making it nice enough, and then we're going to offer these people a 30-day money-back guarantee, and we're going to offer them a 2-year home warranty on it. And all it is, there's no gimmick. It's just a regular home warranty. It's just a 2-year home warranty.
Yeah.
And then the other portion of it is, hey, if you don't like that house, then we'll move your money to another house that we own. It's not that you get your money back, and we can move you into another property. So really, they're creating like an investment scenario where they're creating their own buyer base and moving them from house to house, because they even have a trade-in program where they'll give you more if you bought the house from them, and then you're trading that house back into them to move to another property. It's very interesting, to be honest with you.
These guys got something figured out
They've
here.
got something going here. I really like it. I'm going to do a lot more research into this business model, because I like what I see here.
Yeah.
And if you've got money cheap enough, which if you can get money in the 8% range, with not even that expensive, you can make this work, because your holding time is going to be low. You're not going out and doing these big giant rehabs. You're just going out, getting a make-ready crew, 1 or 2 weeks on the market, and then you put the house up for sale, but you're keeping the entire commission because you're saying direct to consumer.
Yeah.
I don't need the MLS anymore. I don't need to pay the other 3% on the back end, because I'm going direct to the consumer. And the way that I'm roping that consumer in is by saying, hey, 30-day money-back guarantee, hey, 2-year home warranty, and making consumers feel nice and fuzzy on the inside.
Warm and fuzzy.
Which is what the MLS is failing to do right now.
That's right.
The MLS doesn't make you feel warm and fuzzy. It's just a bunch of houses on there, and you have to go through hundreds of them to find one that you like. As opposed with this, it's giving you some sense of peace. You know, okay, well, I know that at least for the next 2 years, I'm not going to have to make any major expenses on this property, which is going to allow me, that I'm trying to think as a consumer, which is going to allow me to paint that bedroom that I wanted to paint, or change the carpet to hardwood flooring or hard flooring, a laminate flooring or something. It's very, very interesting. And that's how they're getting away around the TREC rules, because they actually own all of those properties.
Which is why they can put a little sign on the front door that says, text me your name and number and I'll let you in.
Absolutely, yeah. And they don't have anything to lose. The houses are unfurnished.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what? A thief is going to go in there and steal light fixtures?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's not. There's not money in stealing light fixtures out of a rehab property, you know?
Well, and that was the entire point of bringing this up, is the fact that these new hybrid brokerages are changing the way that things are going to work, and that we feel like there's going to be a shift in the way that real estate, altogether will operate. With these new services coming to the forefront, and more, there being a push for direct-to-consumer transactions. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that's kind of the case?
That's how everything's moving. What it is, Think about Airbnb, Turo. There's tons of them out there.
Yeah, Ship.
Well, I mean,
all of these services that are direct-to-consumer.
So think about, go back in time, right? Because time always tells you where things are going. If you go back in time, a lot of services were direct-to-consumer, right? And then you started getting these door-to-door salesmen that would travel from city to city, and they were selling these franchise type products across the country. And then you started to get these corporate giants, right? Mm-hmm. And then then you got labor unions, and things started to shift with regulation. Well, we're hitting a point now where the number one company in the world for taxis doesn't own a single taxi.
Right.
The number one company in the world for hotels doesn't own any hotels. And I guarantee you that pretty soon the number one company in the world for car rentals will own 0 vehicles.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all about getting the consumers direct to each other. And if you can make a small fee in between that, you can make a lot more transactions than if you ever owned any of those products yourself, and you don't have the upkeep and the overhead of taking care of all of that.
I think it's called the shared economy, is what I've heard it referred to as what we're moving into, the shared economy, where we all have resources that we can, basically meter out to the public as they need at a reasonable cost, instead of having to own and purchase large investments like a car. And man,
well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Before, if you wanted to go drive for Yellow Cab, you had to go buy a car. Mm-hmm. You had to paint it yellow, which means it's got one use now. It's just a cab. Mm-hmm. And then you had to pay franchise fees to Yellow Cab for being able to be a member of their Yellow Cab union.
Yeah.
And you had to continue to pay them off of your fares on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like you're getting taxed on tax on tax. All of a sudden, here comes Uber and Lyft and other services, and they're saying, hey, we're only going to charge you a small fee off the rides that you get.
Yeah. And put a sticker on your car.
And you put a sticker on your car. And on top of it, we're going to facilitate bringing you those people in a very, very easy to use method.
Yeah.
And now you've created a lot of small business owners, because somebody before I can't afford to do that. Well, now I can use my regular car to go drive people around. I don't have to go buy a van and paint it yellow and have it only for that service. Now my own small business is my car that I own. Now my Airbnb is the house that I live in. I can rent out 2 or 3 rooms on it. It's all about facilitating the ability of the consumer to share their own goods.
We kind of laugh about it sometimes too, but like on Facebook and stuff, you see a lot of people that are selling those creams or fat burning things and stuff. It's just these little, I think our economy is shifting back to small, independent business owners again, because you see a lot of those people that can take that up at little to no cost almost to themselves and make themselves an entrepreneur.
Maybe Facebook has something to do with that too. The fact that marketing has become rather easy and inexpensive. It's easier for the average person to reach people nowadays.
Oh yeah, and it's so direct. I mean, you pick exactly who it is that you want to market to.
Yeah.
There's even, again, we get back to that whole.
Did you guys know that you can, for you viewers out there, did you guys know that you can pull people up on Facebook who are literally getting ready to go through divorce or bankruptcy? You can actually create an ad and target people who are going through financial struggles. How does Facebook know that?
Well, because of all it's all through Google and those type of companies that it's what you search.
Yeah, it's
your whole life is on these devices.
So here's the way it happens. You're let's say you're getting ready to go through a divorce or bankruptcy or something.
You're searching divorce lawyers.
So the first thing you do is, let me look for a good divorce lawyer, right? You spend 2 hours looking for that, or a good bankruptcy attorney, right?
Yeah. How do I keep all my money from my account without my wife?
How do I hide my money, right?
Yeah.
So you do,
and all of a sudden you
research.
start getting ads for the asset protection.
That's right. That's right. And then Google then sells that information to people like Facebook, and Facebook says, hey, by the way, if you want to market to someone that's going through this,
and Facebook
now you can.
Doesn't even need to buy Google's data.
No, Facebook's doing their own data mining.
Facebook has every post that you put out there, Facebook is reading it, and they're saying, okay, well, this is what this person thinks. This is what this person's interested in. This is how I can start to shift in that way.
They can see where your mouse moves, I'm sure, over the web page.
So it was funny because we make no political stances on any of our posts. It's actually part of our company policy. But I thought it was funny because one of the ads that I kept getting was telling me that I was an undecided voter. And that I should
that's true.
start
I haven't
making a choice.
I haven't seen any ads.
Isn't that crazy?
Me.
No.
It's like, because I didn't make a certain post for one or the other, then Facebook automatically considered me an undecided voter and started targeting me for that.
Well, and this is what, just like I was saying earlier, regulation starts to come in on everything. And right now we're in that gray area. And that's another one that's a very gray area is marketing, right?
Yeah.
Because we talk a lot about anti-discrimination in the United States. Well, right now you can go on Facebook and you can say, I want to target to these ads to everyone who is not religious.
Yeah.
Or I want to target these ads to everyone who's not black or who's not Chinese. Or you can literally pick a culture and say, I only want to target Mexicans.
Yep.
And you can target just that one section. And so you start to run into the situation where you say, am I hitting a wall of discrimination?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, once you start to use the discrimination word, now federal government gets involved.
Now we have more
regulation. So this is like, it's like a
it's a never-ending circle, you guys.
Yeah, it really is.
Welcome to the clown show that we call the United States. And today we're going to figure out who our next great leader is.
Yeah. Make sure to like for Donald, heart for Hillary. Let us know who you think's going to win.
We're doing a vote off today live.
Thumbs up for Donald. Big hands, Donald. And let's get that Hillary heart.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket. And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
And we are back on Realty Ruckus. Remember that you can tweet us at Realty Ruckus. You can also find us live on Facebook and YouTube, where you can comment and we can chat with you live on the show. You can also call into the show at 832-790-2578 or text us live at 832-790-2578. Once again, that's 832-790-2578. Now, we're having a very heated discussion today over hybrid brokerages and basically these new developments in real estate, and they're happening really quickly.
Yep.
That's the scary part, is that realtors as we know it could not exist in this form. I'm not saying not exist completely.
Yeah.
Because states like Texas that are regulated are still going to keep brokerages for a while.
Yeah.
But the traditional broker and realtor as we know it may not exist 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, some people disagree. We actually have a listener, Tang Nguyen, who's saying that Open Door has actually helped this business because the sellers that go through that process eventually come back to him.
He says he actually encourages sellers to call them and compare services.
Yeah, we would love, if you want to call in, Tank, give us a call.
Yeah, we'd love for you to call into the show, 832-790-2578, because I want to hear more about these experiences.
Yeah.
Because I want to understand what people are going through. And just for all the listeners, I'm actually going to go in and put my own property in there. And I want to find out what they would offer me and what does that look like. Because I can't complain or talk about their service unless I've seen it, what it looks like.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if somebody has a property in Dallas that they're willing to let us share with this company Open Door to get an idea of what they would do, we'd really appreciate that as well, because they're not located here in Houston yet.
Right.
I'm guessing that they will be here soon.
Houston's a weird city when it comes to opening a new real estate brokerage. For some reason, there's a very hard what do you call it, like a
barrier to entry.
Barrier to entry. A lot of it has to do with the fact that you have to really understand the market. One, two. Most brokers that are doing really, really well here in Houston know each other somehow. Have you experienced that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. The biggest brokers in Houston are all friends.
Yeah.
They may not hang out all the time, but you'll run into them at events. They know about each other. They know each other's business model. Hell, they even know how much in volume each other has done because they keep that close of track of each other.
Absolutely. And I started experiencing that when I became part of NAREP, and I was sitting across from a handful of mega brokers and realized.
What's up, small fry?
Yeah. It was cool, man. It was eye opening. It was a great experience.
Just tell them, do you have the Realty Ruckus?
Exactly, right? But I like being in environments like that push you to grow and encourage you to be better. And how much has our business changed just in the last few months because of that?
Tremendously.
Because we want to make sure we're working at a level of excellence at all times.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think it's cool. And if in some way this other company has actually helped you, Tang, then we want to know about it.
He says he wants to call in. He was asking for the phone number. You did put it up.
I think I put it up there, but
I'm gonna put it up again for him.
Call us in if you can. We're running out of time, but I think we have a few minutes to chat with you and figure out what your experience is and how you've used it for your business. Obviously, this is a show to help other people grow. So if we can talk to you and listen to what you have to say, it's going to be helpful for any other listeners as well. So don't forget that we're having a vote off.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Thumbs up for the Donald.
Thumbs up for Donald. Heart for Hillary.
Heart for Hillary.
I did see a comment for Hillary and a heart, so that's
we
two.
We've still got no ha-ha faces, so Johnson's obviously not going to win.
Let's be realistic.
Trumps. We have 4 Trumps.
Wow.
Yikes. What else do we
have?
Let
me name them off. No, I'm just kidding.
We're going to name you guys. We're getting a lot of likes right now, you guys.
Uh-oh.
We're getting a lot of likes, so it looks like maybe our listeners think that Trump's going to win.
Might be Trump taking this one.
We have 1 heart. So it looks like we have.
Hey, did you guys see that one post? Somebody went to a voting booth and they voted on the paper.
Yeah,
I forget which state it was in, but they actually misspelled Hillary's name and they put
Hillary.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Like what are the odds of that?
I love that. I thought that was hilarious. Some dude in the back was cracking up the whole time as people were voting. Right? It's like you have one job and you make it funny while you're there.
Yeah, no, man, absolutely. This election has been crazy. The final result of it, let's just be honest, whoever this president is, this is going to be a 4-year president.
Yeah.
They're going to be one of those transitional ones that comes
calling
in.
it now.
Oh, yeah, I'm calling it now.
Calling
That's
it now.
Bold prediction. This is a 4-year president.
Over under 4.5.
BB Stradamus.
More than likely, it's going to be like Hillary. Let's be honest. That's the Vegas odds right now have Hillary at minus 550.
Wait, Vegas bets on this?
Let's see. I'll tell you
Vegas
the
creates odds on everything.
Vegas bets on this.
I'm sorry. Last time I checked, it was Hillary minus 300, Trump plus 550. So if you bet 100, you would win 550 on top of that if you bet on Trump right now.
So you can actually bet money
on the elections.
If you live in a country where it is legal to gamble.
Yeah, where it is. Yeah, we're not promoting gambling. Let's be clear with that. But yes, you can actually bet on the elections. Yeah. And so right now, in Vegas, they do put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
And so when they release those odds, they're pretty telling. And I followed the odds all the way through the primaries.
Yeah.
And they were pretty spot on. The only one that they messed up, which is kind of scary, is Donald. They honestly thought that Bush was going to take the nomination. And then when Donald took the nomination, he was actually like a plus 1,100 underdog to take that nomination. So
yeah, right now I got Hillary Clinton at minus 650. So you would need to bet $650 to win 100, and then I have the Donald and the field, which is any other candidate, at plus 400. So if you bet 100, you would win $400.
Yeah. So right now it's
this is according to Vegas and their research and all of their
This is what Vegas is saying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's going to be an interesting day.
So our listeners say Trump. Vegas says Hillary. We'll see who's right.
Don't forget, guys, you still have time to vote. Give us a thumbs up if you think Trump's going to win, and a heart if you think Hillary is going to win today. I'm excited, but what I'm excited mostly about is for today to be done. Like I just want this to happen, to be over, and for us to move on and just.
Oh, we just got to start rebuilding.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. These elections, they spend a fortune on it, and they separate the country.
Yeah.
And so right now, the country is very, very separated. And we got Tang on the line, guys. So let me go ahead and get Tang on the line for
Congratulations to Tang Nguyen for being the first caller ever into the Realty Ruckus.
All right.
We're so excited right now.
Hey, Tang, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, excellent.
Yeah,
man.
we can hear him. That's
Tang,
awesome.
what's going on, dude?
We'd love to know more about how Open Door is helping you in your business.
Okay, so I had a few sellers actually called Open Door, and it's just that they require the seller to do so much to get the house ready.
So what do you, when you say like they require the seller to do so much, are you talking about like specifically about repairs that they're requiring?
Repairs, yes. I'm sorry, yes, repairs. And that's where they're losing because the home seller are calling to sell as is, and they can't afford it. So that's where they're getting stuck.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, no,
So when
sense.
a home seller calls, a motivated seller calls and says, "Hey, I want to sell as is," I would imagine. I mean, we've dealt with a lot of motivated sellers. Most of the time, they don't have the funds just to sit there and repair the property.
No, not at all.
Correct.
So if you're the agent that's coming from a company like Open Door and says, "Okay, I want to help you sell your property, but you got to invest $10,000," well, how can you help that homeowner if they don't have the money? Right?
Correct.
So that's the problem that they're running into.
So how many of those people?
And they're getting people because they are offering higher offers. But again, it seems like as soon as you sign on with them, and then they'll come back with the repairs. You have to
So they give them a high offer, and then they knock them back down to reality.
$100 in repairs, I can't afford that. So we can't do this deal. And then they'll come back to me, and I can almost offer them the same amount, but with different terms. Typically, I take it subject to, and then I pay them on the, in time. I do make my payments, but I give them the offer that
that's
match my offer with the Open Door.
That's really interesting. That's really good that you're doing
too,
that.
Tang.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you located, Tang? Just out of curiosity.
I'm located in Fort Worth.
Okay, Dallas-Fort Worth. That's one of their big ones.
Yep.
So
Okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
So they are putting out reasonable offers in. It's not like they're coming out and lowballing people. It's just a matter of
Well, they're coming in high and then renegotiating later once they do their inspections. That's the strategy.
Is that correct?
For a couple of my sellers, yes, that's what they got. And they're like, well, we can't afford this while we're trying to sell the property as is.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, there you go.
Give me a call back, and then I'll end up getting the deal.
What percentage of those sellers that went to Open Door would you say actually came back to you, Tang?
I've heard from 3 guys, and 2 came back.
Okay.
Wow,
pretty
that's
high.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's really good.
One wasn't comfortable with doing it subject to, so they went ahead and just went with
Just listed.
maybe, I don't know. It might have went
Well, sold to Open Door, or maybe they sold to somebody else.
But they
Yeah.
still came back at least and gave you the chance to convert.
Very good. Well, thank you very much for calling, Tang, and thank you for being part of our listenership. I see that you've joined us here in the last few episodes, and we really sincerely appreciate it. Unfortunately, we're getting down
We
to the
appreciate
end of the
call,
show.
Tang. Thank you.
And we didn't even get a chance to talk about any of the events that we have coming up, although events are limited this month.
Yeah,
from what
guys,
I understand.
I know you guys love listening to all the real estate events. I tell you about at the end of the show. Unfortunately, there's not much going on in November.
Now, there are some stuff that's coming back up, and I want to let you guys know that any events that we see coming up here in the next few days, we're going to be listing
on the Houston Real Estate's events page.
Yeah.
I do know that Patent Law Firm recently did announce their Christmas party.
Yes, and they're going back to Clay this year.
Yes.
I can finally make, hopefully.
Have you guys ever been to that place, Clay?
Oh yeah, I went last year.
It's a pretty neat place. They have a pool in the middle of the
club.
I guess it's just a club normally,
no.
right?
Yeah.
They have a pool in the middle of it, like an Olympic-sized pool. And I asked, I mean, I don't really do the club scene, so I asked one of the waitresses if people ever jump in, and she was like, "Yeah, in the summer people just come in during club."
Well, this time in the winter, people are going to be jumping in.
We're going to see. This is going to be a great event. Anyways, guys, we have to end our show, unfortunately, but it was great speaking with you, talking to you, helping you grow your business. Don't forget that we're going to be with you this Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Keep up your Realty Ruckus, and we'll see you soon. Have a great day.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.